Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about a really important concept called as volume. What is volume and how can you profit using that volume, and exactly how can you scrape off the shares that you do not want to invest in using that volume. Volume is a very important concept, and if you do not take a look at that, you will end up losing a lot of money. And I have personally lost a lot of money because of volume, because once I started in the stock market, I saw some shares that were really great. They were increasing every day, but then I didn't really look at the volume, and that's what messed me up. That's what really was my mistake. So I wanna teach you exactly what you shouldn't do and exactly what kind of mistakes I have been making, so that you are really a lot more sensitive about that, so you can understand that these are the mistakes that we do not want to make. All right, so this is a very practical video, and I want to make sure that you get as much out of it as I have. Like everything about volume, I want to tell you about it. All right, so the market is actually live right now. We have 25 minutes remaining. To be honest, I wanted to make a video about short selling today, but short selling is really complicated, and so at the starting, when I actually started trading or investing, I didn't really understand the concept, and it's actually hard unless I actually give you the practical intuition, practical exposure. So I'm going to do that tomorrow, and let's actually look at the volume one right now. All right, so here I have the screen. Let me just put on the recorder. Let me just start it. All right, takes 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Okay, cool. So let's actually look at some of the shares. All right, and what does this volume mean? Right, so let's look at this share of Bata. All right, and let's actually look at the depth of the market. All right, what is this? This is the volume right over here. You can see, right? This is the volume. All right, I messed that up. Okay, let me just put it back to the top. All right, this second last row, I'm gonna underline this right now. This is the volume. It's keeping on increasing, like 4,95,000. All right, 495,000 right now. Shares that have been basically traded. What does this volume mean? It means that a total of almost 5 lakh shares have been traded today, or till now, till this time right now. How does this increase? All right, let's see. Let's say that there is a buyer. I am the buyer. All right, I buy 1,000 Bata shares from someone else. Right, I buy 1,000 Bata shares from someone else. So someone else obviously sold those 1,000 shares to me, right? So it's an exchange that happens, right? So this exchange of 1,000 shares, all right, he sold 1,000 shares, I bought 1,000 shares. What's the volume right now? Let's say that the market has just opened and this is the first trade that happened in the market. The volume at this point would be 1,000, because it won't be 2,000, by the way. It's not that he sold them and I bought them. It's because this is one trade that we did together. That's why the volume is going to be 1,000. All right, that's one thing that you want to keep in mind, because unless you are in case you are a beginner, you might not understand. So I'm trying to get to the concepts from the basic level to the advanced level. All right, so just bear with me if you already know this concept. All right, so apart from that, let's actually look at some other shares which have a very less volume and some shares which have a very high volume. All right, so and what does that entail? Why do you want to stay away from some of these shares? Let's actually talk about that as well. So let's go over here. Let's actually delete this and let's see. All right, maybe we can look at something like Daulat Investments. This one has a little low volume, and in case of, let's see, I want a share with high volume. Let's look at Suzlon. All right, okay, good, great. So let's look at these stocks. Okay, see, this Daulat share, it's a very small company. No one really knows about it, and the volume is only 38,000. All right, around 38,000. You want to stay away from these shares. Let me actually help you and show you exactly what this kind of share can do. All right, this is weekly chart. I want to give you 15-minute chart. All right, so look at this. All right, so when I bought this share, let's look at this thing. I mean, that was way back, like a few years back, but let's look at it right now. Like, this is a good example right over here. All right, so let's actually zoom in a bit. Okay, so see, suppose that, all right, I'm going to use this. Suppose that you enter the trade right over here, somewhere around here, all right, around the 83 part, 84 part. You buy this share, all right, and you enter over here, all right. It goes up, it goes down, and then it starts going down every day, all right. It's going down, you can see that. Now you wanna get out of this trade, because you think that your money is going to end up like it's gonna go towards the zero side, and your money is going to be reduced every day. So you're really, every day that you wake up, you're seeing that your loss is increasing. So how can you actually stop that? You need to sell those shares and book your losses. All right, so whatever the losses, you say that this is fine, I do not want any more loss. So I'm fine. I'm okay with bearing this amount of loss, right? So just someone just buy my shares and help me bear this loss right now. But the thing is that the volume is very low. No one wants to buy these shares. That is the significance of the volume, right? See, every day what is happening is that every day it's going down, 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 and no, like it's hitting the circuit limit. If you do not know the circuit limit, don't worry about it. But basically, it's just the upper and lower level limit that the share cannot fall beyond that beyond that circuit level, or you could say beyond that price. It cannot go more down, and the upper circuit level price is the price after which it cannot go further up. All right, so every day it's going down. Every day you can see it's going down and down and down, and no one is trading. Mostly the volume is very low on these days, about 10k or 20k, right? And everyone wants to sell the share at this point. So understand that when someone wants to sell this share, everyone is wanting to sell the share at this point. All right, let me actually give you a live example of some share like that. All right, I'm going to give you the opposite example. There's a share which everyone wants to buy. All right, but let's see, Refx is that share. Everyone wants to buy the share, but no one is selling it right now. So look at this depth. All right, one sec. All right, so look at this depth. Look at this. All right, there are 44.55 is the price. Don't worry about that. All right, 240 orders over here. Don't worry about all of this. Just look at the buyer side. The blue one is the buyer side. There are almost 150,000 orders for buying. Everyone wants to buy it. How many people are selling it? A total of 0 people are selling it. So no one wants to sell it right now. Why? Because it's going up and up every single day. Okay, this is the case of Refx, right? So it's going up every day. So how do you even buy such a share? I'm gonna give you expertise on that as well. How do you buy such a share? How do you sell shares with low volume? But mostly you want to stay away from these shares because low volume means danger. Once it starts going down, everyone from the left side will move towards the right side of this thing. All right, so everyone will move towards this side and everyone will start selling. No one will want to buy this, and everyone wants to sell this. That means that it's so much harder for you to sell it. I mean, the market works on a first come first serve basis. So, and people have these computerized things that the market opens up at the same moment they will put on their share for selling or buying, right? And still lakhs and hundreds and thousands of shares really get over here and they want to sell them or buy them, but basically nothing really happens. See, you can see the volume over here is only 30,000 and 150,000 people have really placed the orders apart from that, right? So in the case of this one, right, this dollar share, like the place where I showed it to you was over here. See, it's going down every day, and you wanna sell it because you think that your money is going to be lost right now, so you wanna sell it as soon as possible, but no one is buying it, right? So that is the issue with volume over here. No one wants to buy it. Very few are being traded, and because it's a first come first serve basis, your share might not exactly go where you want it to be. A lot of people might actually use their brokers, and in some way they might have their orders set up before you, so their orders will be kind of processed first and yours will be processed later. But by the time yours get processed, really there's no one to buy it or no one to sell it. So this is really important. Every day the share price is dropping by about 5% and you're not able to do anything about it. You're losing money every day. All right, so stay away from the shares which have a very low volume. Make sure that the volume, if it's low, it's fine. See, some of these shares, it's fine if they are low volume shares. Look at this one, all right, MRF. Right, this one share costs you about 57,000 rupees, right? And it's okay because see, one share costs you about 57,000 rupees and the volume is 4,800. That means a lot. Like 57,000, like how many people will buy these shares? Not a lot of people will buy these shares, of course. And how many shares can you buy at once? I mean, not more than 5, 10, because unless you have a whole lot of money sitting in the bank somewhere that you can use, obviously you won't be able to buy a lot of these shares, right? It's because they are so costly. So if they are so costly, the volume is low, that's perfectly fine. But if they are not that costly, like look at these, let me show you these, right? The price over here is only 67, right? So it's not a lot, and basically the volume should be a lot more, right? So no one really knows about this company. That's why this is the case. It's again, you need to learn this, you need to understand this. Again, these kinds of shares as well, they are very dangerous, so you need to have that in mind. All right, so this is the concept of volume. Let me actually show you the opposite side, and let me actually remove these so that you don't get distracted by it. So Suzlon, all right, look at the volume over here. Like, it's crazy volume. Like, look at it. I don't even know what that number is. Probably, whatever it is, don't worry about it. It's 11 crores in the Indian system, but never mind. so many trades being happening in this share. Now, I mean, looks great, right? As soon as you want someone to buy, you will always find someone that wants to buy. As soon as you that someone that wants to sell it to you, and as soon as you want to sell, you will find a buyer, and it's going to be really easy for you. But what's the downside? I mean, these shares sometimes they can be very annoying if you are an intraday trader. Like, look at this. It's not very easy for this share to move up or down, because see, these many orders need to be processed in order to actually go past this. Like, if you want to go to 7.55, you should get over with 7.45 and 7.50. Like, all of these orders need to be processed first, and only then can you move on to 7.55 rupees, right? So, and you might understand that this keeps on going on. People keep on adding their orders at the same prices, and the trades keep on happening here and there at the same prices, like 40 and 45. This share right now, it's going to be just going up and down, 4045, 4045 for a long while. So if you're someone who is not really patient with his trades, if you're someone who doesn't really like to wait so much with his, doesn't really have a lot of patience and wants to kind of intraday trade, it might not be a very suitable option. Although this share is a little different, it's given even a return of 20-25% in one day. But most of these shares which have so much volume, it's going to be very hard for you to actually make a lot of money with that, because the thing is that people will kind of be very intermittent. They'll move from here to there, and nothing really happens. The share just keeps on going. Like, you can see in the whole day, it's only gone down a little bit, and then it's up and down along the same line, really. So nothing is really happening, nothing exciting is happening with the share. So that's why of course you will always find someone to trade with. Nothing on that front, you won't have any issues on that front. But on this front, where you want the price to be very volatile, the stock to be very volatile, you want it to go up, you want it to go down, so that you can earn your money, depending on whether you're shorting or whether you're going long. It just won't happen so easily. So that is the concept of shorting. And of course, like I said, if you want to take away anything from this video, the most important point where I lost a lot of my money during intraday trading at first was that do not trade low volume shares. Even if you buy them, a lot of them, you won't be able to sell a lot of them at the same price. Like, let's say you buy a share at $10, all right, and that it is a very volatile stock. It goes up at $15 as well, and comes down till $10 as well, $10 as well, right? So you buy it at 10, all right. What happens is that it does go till 15, right? You buy a lot of shares, you buy 1,000 shares, right? It goes up till 15, but only 1 or 2 trades happen over there. So you only manage to sell 2 or 3 shares. What happens is that you're stuck now with those shares, because no one wants to buy them at 15. People want to buy it at 10, but they don't want to buy it at 15. So it might go up. The chart might show that, yeah, the share does go till 15. But how many were sold at 15? How many shares were actually sold at 15? You won't really get that from the chart just by looking at it, right? So you wanna learn to identify these things, because when the share is very up and you wanna sell at that point, well, at that point is a very fragile point, and it's probably very hard for you to sell it at that point, because not a lot of people want to buy it at that point, of course, right? And then it might just come down again, and then you're stuck with it. You're waiting for it to, basically waiting for people to buy it, and the volume is low, so it's never really going to work, right? There are a few shares like that. I think there's Arnold, as far as I remember. Like, I just want to show you the graph so that you are kind of familiarize yourself with it. This is how it looks, all right? Low volume shares which do not really work. See, the volume isn't a lot, it's 60,000, right? And look at it, this is the graph, this is how they look. Low volume shares, very capricious. They might go up, they might go down. A very less volume is being traded. It's just like all over the place. No one knows in which direction it's going to head. And these are the shares that you want to, again, stay away from, right? So I hope this video helps you out. You, like, just looking at this chart, just looking at this chart, I can tell that I do not want to get into the share even in the short term. I do not want that, because I don't know where this is going to go. I cannot predict it. I cannot really understand where it'll take my money. So I don't want to risk my money in this share. I mean, I have a whole lot of choices out there, and the algorithm I use personally, the technique I use, it gives me so much better returns. I mean, look at this. This is crazy returns, man. Like, this is an increase of 20%. It's actually more than that. For one share, I have an increase of 35%, and for the other, it's like 2 or 3%, or I think 5% or so, right? So it's just taking the average. But this is the result in about 20 days, in the last 20 days, and this is crazy. 20% return even is crazy in 20 days, I believe, right? So make sure that you have your things right. Like, you're not trading stocks that do not need to be traded, really, that are wasting your time, because time is also money. That's personally what I believe. So when I'm swing trading, if I buy a stock, I want to take it out, like I want to sell it in a few days or a few weeks at max, because I know that it might really fall down. So I just want to analyze the share, and I know that in short term it's going to go up. That's how I do it. All right, so the whole analyzing the part, that part is the most important, I believe. That's the most secretive or proprietary part that you'd like to call it, and I'm going to give it to you in a few days. So make sure that you keep watching these videos, and any kind of doubts that you might have, I'm always there to help. Hit me up on Instagram, follow me over there. I have some great pieces of content coming out over there, even about my stocks, so don't forget to do that, and I'll see you in the next video.